Hey guys, it's Liam. Last video we ended and I kind of asked, what is love? How do we love others? So before we get into that question, there are 4 different types of love in the Bible in Greek. Alright, so I want to go over each one of those and talk about each one just a little bit so we kind of have an understanding of what love is in general, and then we can go and talk about how we love others. Alright, so I'm using a website that I found just a little bit ago. I really like the definition that they used in one of these that I'm going to be using. So this website is www.mcleanbible.org. So shout out to them. But the 4 words, now these have different ways of saying it in English. So some people will be like, you said that wrong. And well, whatever. First one is phileo. Now, this is probably one of the most common ones. It's a brotherly love. You know, you got like a friendship, someone you've been around for like 5-6 years, and you love that person, right? That's phileo, a friendship love. Then there is agape. And the way I've always understood that, we're going to talk about it a little bit more later, but it's the love of God. Okay, we're going to go deeper into it later. But the next one is storge. I don't know how to pronounce that one too well. But it is, this one is, okay, this one is, took me a while to find it, but this is a love between a parent and a child. So it's that natural connection, mother, son, father, daughter, son, parent, child connection. That's the storge. And then there's eros, which, as this website says, erotic love. So usually when you think of love between 2 people, that is eros. Okay. So there are a lot of different Bible verses that talk about loving other people. One very common one is love your neighbor as yourself, right? Everybody knows that. Okay, a lot of people know that. Okay, so in Greek, if you had to take a guess, what type of love was used? What word for love was used there? Was it phileo? Was it the brotherly love? Was it agape? Was it God's love? Was it storge? Or, heaven forbid, is it eros? I hope no one is thinking eros right now. Love your neighbor, not with eros. Okay. The type of love that it used was agape. It was God's love. Okay, we're going to go a little bit deeper here. Look at another verse that the Bible talks about. Love your enemy. Which one do you think that is? Love your enemy. It is also agape. Now I want to look at these definitions that they have. The first one particularly stood out to me. Agape is called out of one's heart by the preciousness of the object loved. It is a love of esteem, of evaluation. It has an idea of prizing. It is the noblest word for love in the Greek language. So, words that stood out to me: preciousness, esteem, prizing. Now that's all words that this agape word revolves around. And this is what God is saying we should do to our neighbors, and more so our enemies. That we should see them as precious, esteem them. Idea of prizing them, which is simply mind-blowing, because usually our enemies are people that have done wrong things to us, who have hurt us, that we don't want anything to do with. But one thing God has really been teaching me recently about loving is loving the spirit of the person. People are made up of 3 things. The spirit, which is basically the supernatural part of a human. That's the part of us that's going to go to heaven. And that's who we really are. And then there's our soul, which, to my best understanding, is kind of like our mind. how we process, how we think things, not our brain, but our mind. You know, kind of halfway between spiritual and physical. And then there's also the, well, body. You know, so with our spirit, this is not going to be a 5-minute video, but with our spirit, that's who God created us. That is the perfect creation that God made. But our flesh came in and messed that up, corrupted it. Sin nature took over. So what God has been teaching me about love is to look at each and every person as the perfect spirit he originally created them to be before sin came in and corrupted them. So it's really about how we see people. And yes, everybody's got a story. Everybody does stupid stuff. But we need to look deeper than that, and we should see inside. When the Bible said Jesus had compassion, he saw, you know, the reason why they were doing stupid stuff. I mentioned this in the last video, but every stupid thing that a person does is simply because they've been hurt in the past. So Jesus looked back and saw that hurt and loved them and had compassion on them and valued them despite of all of their mistakes, all of their imperfections. So that's not really in short anymore, but that's what it really means to love. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it through this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that thumbs up. If you have any suggestions on anything you would like me to talk about, throw it down in the comments. Any questions, any topics, anything, go ahead and feel free to throw it down in the comments. And if you have not subscribed yet and you would like to watch more of this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I post about 2 times a week. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot, and I'll catch you next time.